I grew up believing that Frankenstein was a monster, this evil creature that sort of scares children and harms people and looks grotesque. I was wrong because Frankenstein is not a monster. Frankenstein is actually the name of the scientist that creates this creature. I had the opportunity of finally reading Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I'm reading it for the first time in my 20s. I expected this book to be dark and horrifying and scary. Instead, I fell in love with it because it's not a horror story, it's a tragedy for me. And in this video, I will tell you why. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Books and Breakdowns Season 2. I am Kayan Dadyburjor. I am an actor based in Mumbai. I'm a big time nerd. I absolutely love reading, and this is a place where I get to channel that side of me. So, if you aren't into reading, want to get into reading, if you haven't read a couple of books, or even if you've read and just want to hear someone else's thoughts, this channel is for you. In this video, what you're going to get is what the book is about, my experience of reading the book, the women in the book, since that is the theme of this season, which is women in classical literature, and finally, why you should read this book. So, Frankenstein, the book, is basically a book about ambition, and it's about this guy, Victor Frankenstein, who is a scientist and who is really passionate and ambitious about what he wants to do, and he wants to figure out this solution to life itself. And I resonate with his ambition. I understand wanting to create something. I mean, as not just as an actor but a writer and as a creative person, you want to do these things, you're ambitious, you're thirsty for things, and you uh, you want to get somewhere, you want to prove something to the world that you're in. You want to make something because you believe you have something in you to give to this world. So I really resonate with that. But what this book talks about is the horrors of creation. It's almost like it's a different segue, but it's almost like AI. Like you've created this thing to enhance life, to enhance human life, but now that it's in the world, now what? And this book really, I think, captures that because Victor Frankenstein is genuinely dedicated, really cares about what he's doing, not abandons, but is one of those workaholics that sort of doesn't meet his parents, doesn't meet his family, doesn't, is just so hell-bent on work. And then when his work comes to fruition, he abandons it. And because it's the line that's at the back of the book, I had desired it with an ardor, but now that I finished, the beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. As a creative person, I have experienced this, and it's not a fun one. But we are not Team Victor here. We are Team Frankenstein the creature in this video because the creature deserves justice, and I am here to speak for him. I was going to say it, but it's a him. So, him. Now, to tell you a little bit about my experience of reading the book, Frankenstein starts off with these letters from this guy to his sister, which honestly seemed pretty random at first. And for a modern reader, they might seem boring. I would ask you to wait and get through it because it is important and the book actually really picks up afterwards. The book takes a while, I would say about a good 50-60 pages to get you into it. And then once that key point of that plot, which I don't want to spoil for you right now, once that key point for the plot happens beyond the creature being created and all of that, that is when the fun begins as a reader because you're like, okay, now what, now what, now what, now what. So this is my favorite portion of the book, and this is the entire passage that I'm going to read out on the channel. This is the time when the creature is learning words for the first time. He's seeing this family, seeing how they're communicating with one another, and he's like, oh, there's something here that they use, these people. By degrees, I made a discovery of still greater moment. I found that these people possessed a method of communicating their experience and feelings to one another by articulate sounds. I perceived that the words they spoke sometimes produced pleasure or pain, smiles or sadness, in the minds and countenances of the hearers. This was indeed a godlike science, and I ardently desired to become acquainted with it. I discovered the names that were given to some of the most familiar objects of discourse. I learned and applied the words fire, milk, bread, and wood. I learned also the names of the cottagers themselves. The youth and his companion had each of them several names, but the old man had one, which was father. The girl was called sister, and the youth brother. I cannot describe the delight I felt when I learned the ideas appropriated to each of these sounds and was able to pronounce them. I distinguished several other words without being able as yet to understand or apply them, such as good, dearest, unhappy. And this just tugs my heart when I read this part. The gentle manners and beauty of the cottagers greatly endeared them to me. When they were unhappy, I felt depressed. When they rejoiced, I sympathized in their joys. For me, this is the heart of this book because it it's really sad that like he's just sort of shunned away, asked to find his own way. I think they did it really wrong to Frankenstein the creature. I wish he had more support. I wish he had a friend. I wish Victor wasn't an ass to him because Victor was very selfish, which I get again, but no, you can't just do that. It's like telling a parent like, you got the child into the world. It's your responsibility now. With creation comes responsibility. I think that's something we all forget, or at least I forget, which is that, we're so hell-bent on ambition and making it and creating something that we want to, that we forget that there are consequences to every decision, no matter what we do. And this book sort of discusses the horrors of that. I think while talking about the women of this book, the ironic part is that even though it's been written by a woman, it does not choose to justify why women need what they need. And I think Bronte does that in her book as well, Wuthering Heights, where she never justifies why Kathy had to do what she did. Kathy just does what she did. Contrarily, while Kathy is a much more strong character in Wuthering Heights, in Frankenstein, none of the women have major roles. I don't know why this has been done exactly. Maybe it's done because it can appeal to the masses, maybe because men had more economic power that would sell easier, or maybe because it's written by a woman is the reason that the creature actually has this backstory and this emotional journey that appeals to a reader like me, even today, 200 years later. Bringing that to why you should read this book. So this book is, you don't have to read this book, but I would tell you to read this book because it's honestly quick. It goes by really fast. Like apart from the letters, it goes by really fast. It's a really good plot. Like a lot of things keep happening that keep you hooked. I haven't gotten into it because they're too like nitty-gritty details. It's still relevant in terms of ambition as someone that's ambitious. You will see the horrors that unfold of ambition. And I think more than anything, this just, like I said in the beginning of this video, this book made me fall in love. It made me fall in love with like basic things around us, like because of the way the creature sees these things. The passage that I read out to you also, language, there are so many things that we take for granted in our daily lives, right? Like the way we speak, the fact that I'm talking to you the way I am, the fact that I know this might sound a little romanticized, but the fact that we have technology like this today, the fact that there's just so much around us that we take for granted every day, including me. And I feel like Frankenstein, the book, made me just appreciate everything about me. It was like in college when I read a couple of these things in literature theory class and I fell in love with the world again. I was like, oh my god, wow. And of course there are horrors to it, but there's still beauty. It's raining right now in Mumbai and it's like, how would the creature see the rain? Seriously, how would the creature see the rain? He would see it far differently than me, who's like, oh, it's raining. So I do think this is a book everyone should read. I would highly recommend it. It's not what you expect. I hope you reach Team Frankenstein the creature and not Victor. For next fortnight, we are going to be reading my favorite classic, which is... So, I absolutely love this book. This is my go-to classic to reread. I've reread it a bunch of times and I can't wait to discuss it with y'all. It's The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. We'll talk about it in the next video, but I just wanted you to know what book is coming up next. Do let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you think of this season, if there are any books, opinions you have, and like, share, subscribe, guys. Keep creating. There are horrors waiting for us all.